Hi guys, it's Aegis here, and today I'm going to do a kagero Overlord DN deck profile, because I've been testing DN for a bit of time with Messiah as well, but I think my DN is more well tuned compared to my Messiah because I still need to tune a little bit to make it comfortable. So let's start with DN first. So starting Vanguard, nothing special. Then I'm running 3 of the old Overlords, mainly because I want to get some effects running on my first ride, and Overlord is always a good regard because you can Soul Blast 1 to gain 10k. So especially if you are going to go with Force 2 for your Force marker, he's helping you. And next I'm running one of the Dragonic Blade Master. At first I have not played this guy in the deck, but after seeing a few different deck lists and trying myself, Blade Master is still good because the first skill gives you 5k and a crit if your opponent's got no regard, which can be accomplished by the second skill. If you got the pair, Soul Blast a Great Free, drop 2 cards, retire all of them, get a token, then you get the 5k and 1 crit. So if you're running this deck and like I'm running out almost of my resources because this guy doesn't need Counter Blast, so and you got a pair, then you can just ride on him, gain another marker and then wipe the board. Use the token and this guy to do 4 drive checks, get your hand back, maybe get more triggers. I try to flip the table around, so he's still good to be one of. You probably don't need more than 2 of this guy if you really need, if you really like Blade Master. But for me, 1 is enough. And then I'm running 4 of the Dragonic Overlord DNs. He is new and doesn't require Personal Blast, and the skill is after this card battle ends as a Vanguard, you can select one of the skill to activate, but during the same turn you can only use the same effect once. So there are 2 effects, and maximum you can use them is 1 each. First one is if your hand is 4 or lower, Counter Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1, Standish unit and then -1 drive. And the second skill is if you have a Overlord in your soul, discard 3 cards, Standish unit, during the turn this card will get 10k power and -1 drive. So usually you can get both effects off during the same turn, just the matter of which one goes first. If you have so many hands, then you can drop 3, stand and -1 drive and get 10k, and then go to the second skill with 4 hands or lower. But if you have really like a lot of hands, even dropping 3 and then drive check 1, you still more than like 5 or more, then you cannot use the second skill, like the first part, which is a little bit sad, but this depends on how you use the resources, because the first one is really great that you just need to Counter Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1, then you can stand the unit, but you don't get the 10k. So depends. And with Force 2 you get 10k, then it's still frightening because you will probably be standing again. So again, depends on how you run this guy. Have to say I like this skill compared to the end in the past that you just keep giving pressure by attacking. Now you don't need to care about if it hits or not, or if you have a another copy for Personal Blast or not. You just go for game, hit them hard, and try to make sure they do the guarding when you want them to, and that's why DN is great. And then for grade 2s, I'm running 2 of the Dragon Full Armor Buster. Still a very good retire plus Overlord Searcher. I'm running 7 Overlord, so it's not hard to find one. And then 2 Dragonic Burnout to try burn something while you can still recycle your Great Freeze or maybe 2s. For example, if you need to drop Blade Master as a cost for PG or something, or maybe Overlord for early game, then you can just burn out to put this guy back into your deck, and hopefully you see him again very soon. Then I'm running 4 of the Berserk Dragon just because he draws, and then I'm running 1 of these Fire and Strike the cat. So he got a skill, active skill, counterblast 1 and put his unit into the soul. Select one of your Dragonic Overlord at the end during the turn. When this unit attacks during the battle, when your opponents need to call Guardians, they need to at least calling 2 from their hand. So if they need to guard from hand, they need to at least call 2. So because with Force 2, you don't actually gain power, so when your DN first attack with a crit, as maybe like a 13k, then you need your opponent to drop at least 2 hands. If they are using a PG, then they need to drop another one because they first call a PG that have a cost to discard a card, but they also need to call another unit from hand. So this one is great, but because I don't always ride DN like early game, usually like late game, so if I have too much of him, he will just stays there and probably get killed very soon. So I'm just putting 1 in case I need to go for the end game with the end standing 3 times. Then I'm doing guard restriction with them 3 times with a Force 2. That's why he's great. And I'm running 3 of the Toha. So basically why I need him is for Blade Master to work and to basically fill out my field. Because by counterblasting 1, then I can call my great ones, which I'm also running 3 of. Because this deck takes a lot of counterblast, so I'm trying to not running too many of these. Just if I need to fill up the field or if I need to use Blade Master, I can get a pair just by getting 1 copy and 1 counterblast. So let's continue with the great ones. Here. I'm running 2 of the Griffins. Because this guy got a very interesting skill, which is once per turn, when this unit, when the Vanguard boosts the battle, when your opponent call a Guardian, then you can Soul Blast 1, select that Guardian and retire. During the end of the battle, retire this unit. So you can choose which Guardian you want to retire. If they, for example, call a 20k, then you can, with a heal, then you can just like, okay, I'll pop it, and then they need to try to force to guard more, but this card does not stop PG, so not as scary as it is. But the good thing about this card is he retires himself after the end of the battle, so the AK will still survive during the battle when they guard and when you want to use the skill. So that's why it's great. And sometimes killing a Guardian is what matters to the game because they might not have enough resources to keep guarding. If you retire their 15k or 20k shield, and if they don't have another Dragon in hand, then they need to take 2 cards from their hands to guard with, which sometimes is painful. And then I'm running for Elmo and Sabel Dragonic just for the draws. And getting the triggers, I'm running 7 crits, 1 and 4, 5 draws and 4 heals. Basically I'm running this lineup because I'm trying to use Force 2 and also giving myself some room. If I want to use Force 1, then I can still do that. And because since sometimes I will do Force 2, I'm putting some draw triggers. As long as I need to give the unit with Force 2 some power, I can still do that. But also something that I can drop without caring too much, because draw in this deck is quite important. You will be dropping your hands with Overlord, no matter normal Overlord or DN, even though you need to keep your hand size a little bit low in order to use both effects for Overlord. But the way I'm trying to run this deck is not basically doing the 2 stands at every single turn. I just need to do that when I need to, so keeping some hands to guard with is always good. So that's basically it. So far this deck is kind of like the way I built my the grade, but the grade is focusing on the Great and Nail Flame, and in this deck I'm focusing on DN and Playmaster. So the way of fighting is slightly different, but because the main parts like these guys are the same, so you might not see it as much difference. But with Force 1 and 2 both available as an option, now this deck can be fighting in 2 different fight styles, depending on what your opponents is using. If they are using like a Protect clan and you're kind of confidence in your damage control to your opponent, then you can do like Force 2. Again, whenever I swing for 2 damage. Or if you need to use high power to push through, then Force 1 is a choice. So really depends, because if you need to crit, Playmaster can get you. If you want to keep attacking, then you can go for the Overlords and just try to keep wiping your opponent's board by counter blasting, and then use Elmo and Sabel to keep drawing and counter charge. As long as you take care of the soul, I think nothing you need to worry about too much, except the Overlord will keep using a soul if you recklessly use the skill, which try not to, because with Force 2 what we can do is just say 13k attack and swing, because unless you are pushing through like nearly a final turn or something like that, 13k with a crit attacking is enough, because what you are trying to do is to force your opponent to guard, not to force them to guard a lot, because if you want them to guard a lot, the end is doing the job. And once you wipe the board, then the Fire and Strike pair will do the guard restriction with high powers, so they can also do the job with Force 2. So this deck is more going to Force 2 unless you need a high power to push through. If not, again, try Force 2 is fun. So that's it for me today. I will be recording the Shadow Paladin little starter thing very soon, because I still need to go grab it. And then next will be the EB again with Dimension Police, with Grand Blue and Maelstrom, which I will be unboxing that for sure. Just not sure when, depending on when I got the stuff, and I will crack it. Then you'll see the videos up, and you will probably see my Messiah video first before I put my updated Dimension Police. But we'll see. So let me know how you thoughts, because I know people are playing for like the N plus the grade only, but at this moment I'm not too sure about that build, that I like it or not. So let me know about your thoughts, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.